Right, back again with another video, I suppose. This time it's talking about contrast paints, and I know these have been around for quite some time now from GW. I've been sort of playing about with bits and pieces with them for a while, and decided, yeah, I know I'm a bit of a Johnny come lately to showing contrast painting and things like that, but as I'm working on this particular army, I decided just to do a video on those, so I have already done some of these. So what we're actually looking at today is Warlord Games Romans. Now these are particularly the Praetorian Guard, and these are actually out of the starter army set, which I actually managed to pick up actually nicely. As we know with Warlord Games, there's the main body and things like that. You can have a variation of pinions, swords. It also has variation of heads and things like that. These guys obviously come with the separate horsehair plumes at the down. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do basically everything with a contrast paint. It might get a bit messy because I'm not the neatest with this stuff. But I did go ahead and do the shields. So hopefully these will show up. So everything on those is done with contrast paints. And I know some people will probably be saying, why did you paint the red? You get the decals and they have the red on them. It was just, again, to experiment, because the thing about it is I can actually just put these straight on the figures and not have to worry about the decals if I was that lazy. But I will put the decals on it. Just went through, done all the shields for the entire unit in one go, and again, as I say, that's just experimenting with different colours and stuff. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to go through every single colour, paint it in every single one of them, to try and basically see how long it can be painted the entire unit. There's 20 figures in this, and yes, there is the commands, so there will be a bit of a difference to it, but the general rank and file are all pretty much the same. And the unit forms, or sorry, the armour and stuff in the uniforms may differ a little bit on some of them, but the painting scheme is exactly the same. You know, it's the same colours being used, there's no difference. It's just depending on what you're painting. So what I'll do is I'll basically obviously paint through, show everything off on the reds, which will be the first. Now the red we're going to be using is obviously the Blood Angels red, and this will be for all their clothing, all the cloth parts on the figures. And once that's all done, I'll show that all sorted. So what I'll do is I'll get on and start doing a little bit of painting, and hopefully if I can remember, take note of the timings and how long it actually takes to do the whole unit, minus obviously all the time I'm talking a load of rubbish. We know Army Painter have actually come out with their own version of this. I don't have it at the minute, but I am going to hopefully get a hold of some of them and try them out, and maybe hopefully make another video. So yeah, let's see how we get on. Okay, all the red is now done. I had to cut it short because the battery icon is flashing like crazy on the camera. And at the minute, all my spare batteries have been stolen for Christmas decorations. So what will happen is I'll do so much, cut it, and then stop it, and then come back. So the next stage, once we have all the red done, as we can see on some of them, as I was showing you as I was going through, I'll have to go in and tidy up a few bits and pieces because it is a bit messy in there. So what I'm going to do is basically get all the pillion shafts done. Anything that's going to look like it's woodwork, because that's the colour. Going to be the same colour. And what I'm actually going to use for that is the same as in the back of the shield. It's the skeleton horror contrast one. So I will do that, have a wee look at different bits and pieces. I might actually use this for the start of the I'm trying to think what they are. Lion headdress. I can't remember the correct name for that. I'm sure someone will correct me. Use it for that as a basis because I wasn't too sure what colours I was wanting to use for that. So yeah, I shall get on with that. I'm going to restart. I'm going to show you where I'm going and then cut and then come back again. Okay, that's all the sort of woodwork done, and I did both the lion cloaks in the same kind of colour. I'm going to just move straight on, again due to battery life, and I'm just going to do all the armour, so I'm just going to start splashing the paint on that. If the camera completely dies, hopefully we'll get something sorted out. I'll just go pinch some batteries out of a Santa. But yeah, the main colour basically, well the only real colour I'm going to be using for the armour is the Basilicum Gray. It gives a nice sort of flat colour, and the grey itself just filters in quite nicely with the armour. So I'll show you what I'm talking about before I pause and just go through the whole lot. So yeah. The advantage of this one is just a lot of just slap it on. So it's used for all the armour. Helmet. See that a bit better. It's also used for pilum as well. Now, I did slow that down a wee bit because I usually am extremely messy with these paints, as we can see. So that's basically all the armour. Any metallic is done with the Basilicum Gray. Now, that well toned down as it dries and give you a nice flat metal armour colour. So I'm just going to continue, get everything else done, and come back to you once I've finished this bit. So, literally halfway through, the vast majority of them will be finished in the next couple of steps. Obviously, the next little command and things like that will have a few more bits. So, tidied them up a wee bit. It was a bit sloppy with some of the paint. But now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to all the flesh work. And it's going to be using the Gilliman flesh. And we'll see how that goes. Pick up a couple, see how we're going. If we can get the pot to stay open. Might help a little bit if I take the main painting light off for a bit. The angle it's sitting at is not helping. So we can see again, nice and easy. Stick the big light on. Guess that does help. So again, I'm going to go through all of these guys and get all the flesh finished, as I say, for the most of them. Not been nearly everything done. So we'll get back when we get to the other end. Right, that's all flesh work done. Oh God, took a bit longer than I thought actually that one. But yeah, just picking up random guys. You see that? So the only thing left is a bit of the work on the leather, which is any sort of belts and their sandals and things like that, and a little bit on the scabbards. And you see any bit that's sort of still sort of showing white, or the cream. I'm going to leave the plumes the way they are. They hit the horse crests. Maybe going and tidy up the helmets a little bit afterward. But other than that, thankfully we've still got some battery. So yeah, the one for this is snakebite leather. I'm going to leave the command ones out. This because there's a little bit more. Because any of the gold work that I'll do on them, I'll maybe show that a bit later. I'll be using the Nosgrad yellow. But for the minute, if I put on this snakebite, it's literally the last colour. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not going to do any ink washes, or I'm not going to go back in and highlight anything. It is literally getting them ready for tabletop, so they can be used. And the thing with the contrast paste, you can't just slap it on if you want, but as you can see, if you need to go in and do something a bit more detailed, you can. And you are quite versatile, that one. Actually, I'll leave that there. I'll just do all the straps and scabbards actually. You can use a finer brush, and I don't want to really lose the point on it. By doing all the sandals, because that's where it will just be chucked on. I'm going to leave it on the brighter light on, and mainly down to the fact that if I turn it off I can do a little bit, but I can't really see, there's just not enough light in the room. So this is all a bit too glary and shiny. Apologies. As you can see, fitting into the belt work. I might have a bit of a different angle, because in the middle of doing some of the leather work with the snakebite, battery completely died. So I went and stole a couple of batteries, one of the Christmas decorations, so I can finish this. So all I'm going to do is show in around the sandals, around the feet. So it is basically back to just splashing that on. And letting it do its job, just run it in for all it needs. Try not to hit the toes. Sorry, make a mess. Nope, got away with it. So there. It shows all that. Try and make the light off and try and bring it a bit closer. But that effectively is one Legionnaire done. Completely, all the contrast. Right, went ahead and finished everything on the normal guys. So that is them pretty much finished. Let's focus a bit better. Trying to get all technical now with the zoom. Maybe I should stop that. So the vast majority are all done. That is the rank and file completely done. From start to finish, using about half a dozen contrast pins. There's a bit of tidying up that we done. I noticed on each of them where the contrast hasn't run properly, so I'll have to go back in again and tidy that up. And the only things left on the command will be any sort of gold trim, gold edging, which, as I said, will be done using the Nagsrag yellow. Okay. Get a bit of room on that. So I'll show a little bit of that. Let me see how that goes on. Yeah, just take it nice and easy. So generally that's pretty much almost finished as well. There's obviously a little bit of tidying up and cleaning up with doing all of them. But for a whole regiment of 20 figures, it'll be done, I think the total time, it's about 2 hours. That's in between taking breaks, obviously you need to have a coffee. So taking breaks and stuff like that, just taking my time with it, and a bit of tidying up as well as I went along, obviously because getting a bit sloppy. But yeah, all done with contrast paint, pretty nice. It all worked out quite well, so I'm quite glad I got the colours I did. And if you like this video, make sure to make a comment, hit the like button, and if you want to, please subscribe. Thank you.